Will you please welcome Her Excellency Governor Dr. Jeanette Young and Professor Nemo and Mayor Kathy White. Everybody, big round of applause, please, and welcome to Winton, Your Excellency. Beautiful day. Did you want to say a few words? Yeah. Would you please welcome to say a few words Her Excellency Dr. Jeanette Young, everybody.
It's very kind. This is our second visit to Winton. We've had such wonderful times, both times, although unfortunately you've had a bit of a difficult time, but today is a day for celebration and to really enjoy what you have here. And I hope there's lots of visitors here because it couldn't be a better time to come and visit. So have a really great day from both my husband and from myself. Enjoy.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you very much. We're about to get underway with the parade very shortly, so everybody, please get your seats, get nice and comfortable. This is going to be an amazing parade. I went through the list this morning. G'day, Sandy. Went through the list this morning, and it's going to be pretty cool. This is going to be one of the biggest parades that we've seen in Winton for many, many years. And then at 11 o'clock this morning will be the flyover, Qantas flyover, with the QF400 aircraft, which will be flying over at around about 11 o'clock this morning. All right, we're about to start with the Grand Parade, everybody. We will be having a lot of our musos on the back of some of the vehicles, the horse and carts, the bullock steer, and quite a few other things as the parade does commence. There is prizes for best dressed male, vintage style, also ladies, and also the kids too. And we want to see you give them a big round of applause as they come past. I'd like to welcome up to the stage now, also making a visit to Winton to celebrate 150 years. Please welcome Senator Susan McDonald, everybody. All right, everybody. Let's give everybody a big round of applause as they come past the coach and horses. Australia began building Landau carriages in the late 19th century. Until then, they were actually imported from England. The Landau carriage is coachman driven. It's a four-wheel vehicle known for their luxury convertible design, featuring rich interiors with a folding top and being pulled by 2 to 4 horses. They were used for social events and official ceremonies, particularly during the 19th and early 20th century. And this carriage is more than 100 years old. Also celebrating Winton for 150 years is the March of the Families. We have around about 40 proud Winton families marching this morning. And some of them have travelled from far away to fly their family and flag, and some of the signs have a year on them. And this actually shows what year they've traced their family first Winton connection to joining the march on bagpipes. The Davidson family. Big round of applause, everybody. We have more than 40 families who have joined us this morning for the Grand Parade. And many of them have travelled from far and wide across the country to be back home for the 150 celebration. Coming past the main stage now is the Kavanagh family. John and Mary Kavanagh travelled to Winton back in 1882. They had 7 children, and Mary was pregnant with twins at the time, and they worked at Werner Station. There's the twins. There's the twins. Big round of applause for the twins. 12 children in all. There we go, 12 children and 7 generations here today. John actually built a home in Vindex Street, and the kids were enrolled at Winton State School back in 1885. And family descendants still living in Winton: Loretta Searle, Marion Stanley, and Duncan Black, and their children and grandchildren. Got the Australian Hotel across the road. The Dana family. We have the East family. Gerald East came to Winton in 1925 and bought Cambeala. He and his wife Grace and their 3 children lived in there. Then Gerald and Grace East purchased Wyaralla in 1935. We have the Bannings family living in Winton District in 2025. The Banning, Bat and McCarrow families are 4th, 5th and 6th generation descendants, and of Andy and Louisa Banning. Andy Jackson Banning came to Winton District in 1890 and married Louisa Ryan at the 12 Mile in Winton in 1894, and they had 12 children. 12 children, everybody. Some of the other families, we do have the Horn families back in 1885, first settled in Winton. We mentioned the Kavanaghs back in 1882, the Clough family in 1919, Dooley family 1888, the Haysteed family in 1894, the Watt and Elliott families 1886, the Searle families in 1922, Shaw families in 1899, the Gillies family, Mutton families 1960, the Campbell, Brown and Norris families in 1909, Medlin, Page and McCulloch, Cranberry and White families in 1906, Markwell, Hatfield, Nicholson families 1914, the Maxwell families in 1934, and the East families in 1925. We've got McMullins in 1936, the Series in 1889, and Cody families as well in 1889. Big round of applause for our families of Winton. We've got our local ambos as part of the parade as well. And right now, this is something I haven't seen in Winton since I've been coming out here for the last 24, 25 years. And this is the Bullock Wagon. Now, this wagon came from the Western Darling Downs. It's a tabletop wagon made for general freight transport in the years before merchandise transport. And it's come all the way from the Gold Coast, everybody, this wagon. Slightly different from the wool wagons, where there are bridges over the back axle, specifically for wool transport, either drawn by horse, bullock, donkey or camel teams. And this particular wagon has been restored at some point in its lifetime, and originally made in the very early 1920s. And Phil Thompson purchased the Bullock wagon about 7 years ago. Coming up now, steam engine. Now this is a 50 horsepower tandem compound case steam traction engine built in Wisconsin in the USA in 1915. It was sold new to Kingaroy in the South Burnett and was used for travelling around the district with a threshing machine doing mostly corn and peanuts until about the Second World War. It was sold to the current owner's grandfather, who purchased it for 200 quid and continued with threshing, snigging, slog outs of the bush and driving his sawmills until the late 60s. It's done almost 50 years of continuous work. Needed some major repairs, and about 14 years ago Stephen Hood totally rebuilt the old girl, spending around 2,000 hours on it and quite a few dollars. The Longreach Town Band from the early days of Winton had a town band. They prospered when the right person came to town and died out. Longreach Town Band has travelled also out to Winton today. We have the Caulfield and Fitzmaurice, which was originally constructed back in 1878. It's a temporary structure of saplings and tarps with a dirt floor. It was replaced in 1879 by a more supple building. It was destroyed by fire in 1916 and replaced in its current form. The Opalton floats. Here's the Opalton float, everybody. Opal mining has been a pretty integral part of the Winton area since the early 1880s. And they started with picks and shovels and plain hard yakka. And machinery, you missed the hat. Look out, here comes another one. The excavators came, the front end loaders, the drilling rigs, and now modern exploration tools like radars and drones are actually used. And there's plenty more out there to see. The Winton Hospital, everybody. They doing okay there? Just had a baby. The Winton Hospital was founded in 1882, and up until the year 1903, staff consisted of a medical officer and a married couple who acted as a nurse and wardsman, and one domestic. In 1917, an up-to-date hospital and nurses' quarters was put in place. A new building in 1924, 1925 a maternity ward, and in 1962 new administration and outpatient blocks were elected, and in 1971 the kitchen and maternity blocks. And the hospital borrowed a 1950 Dodge for their floats. The lead cattle, Elderslie Station, was first property in Winton to be stocked, and the first cattle were taken there in 1874. And today, cattle outnumber the sheep in the Winton area. Representing the industry, we have the Landsborough Sanders, established at the T-Boy Station in 2011 by Alex and Ken Sorensen. Lead goats were once a distinctive feature of the town, and most town families had a small mob of goats, and it was a daily chore for the children to pen, milk them. And sheep, in Winton's foundation years, Australia was riding on the sheep's back, with wool accounting for half the export income of Australia. Sheep runs at stations were established in the area before the town of Winton was actually born. Coming up now, we have the Winton State School. Now, the Winton State School is 140 years young, and this year they're celebrating with this float. On one side, you can observe some photographs of over the years, and you will see some familiar faces for the Winton locals, of course. On the other side are handprints of the 2025 kids. And make sure you come on down to the front of Central Motors after the parade for the locals and have a closer look. The Winton Players Floats, here they are. The players have performed for a very appreciative local audiences over the years, and they started back in 1884, and concerts were frequently held with profits going to worthy causes. And many popular musicals and plays straight from the UK and US were actually performed in the Shire Hall. No kids allowed in that salon as well. The Light Horse Float, the Winton Light Horse Troop honours the men and women from the Winton District who volunteered for World War I, and many of the Winton men joined the Light Horse Regiment. St Patrick's School, everybody. G'day, kids. St Patrick's was set up by the Sisters of Mercy back in January of 1906 in a little wooden church, and in 1911 a new school was blessed and opened, and this was used until the current school was built in 1960. It was when the convent became a boarding school to meet one of its very real needs identified by the Sisters of Mercy. Our CWA ladies, the Winton branch, the morning tea, Stephanie Greenwood there. Mrs. Greenwood, Steffi. Who I've known for quite a few years as well. She's a bit of a boss around the Outback Festival. Always cracking that whip, that's for sure. We have the Winton Race Club. The North Gregory Turf Club was founded back in the 1880s, where it is actually believed that Banjo Patterson was part of that club with the Winton Pony Club. Bundaberg Vintage Car Club, thank you for joining us to celebrate 150 years. This is a 1912 15 horsepower Crossley. And the Crossley brothers were the first engineers in Britain to build four-stroke internal combustion engines in 1862. And the car was purchased by Mr. A.T. Brown of Langavon Station by McKinley and dismantled on the property in 1962 by Malcolm Wilson. Now we have a 1928 Ford model, a roadster pickup, assembled back in 1929 in New Zealand by the Colonial Motor Company from a kit produced in Canada. The pickup was purchased by a rural firewood contractor who for many years used the truck for cutting firewood in New Zealand. In between its duties as a portable saw bench, the owner carried more movie projection equipment than was used for film evenings. And the car was imported into Australia in 1922. Now this is a 1929 Chevy. Was the first Holden body designed and built by Holden before they were taken over by General Motors. And these were distinctive as the doors are arched unlike any of the other cars in its era. The car was purchased from Lanes Motors, in Melbourne, and was used until WE3 by a chemist in Daylesford in Victoria. The car sat in a shed for many years, and another man bought the vehicle and made the restoration in 1995. Now we have a 1927 R2060 Vauxhall. Look at this vehicle. A lot of people say that it's the last of the luxury caste, and the first Vauxhall was made under General Motors, has a Holden Brothers body. So have a look at this. Good on you guys. Thanks for coming and joining us. All right, we've got John Whitehead's Harley, a 1942 model. WLA Harley Davidson, bought after the war at a war surplus sale and was used for mustering and checking waters at Mentone. Oh, here we go, the Crack Up Sisters. You got Ruth and Takey. And Thomas. And Thomas, the driver. G'day, Thomas. Oh, Dave's the driver. Thomas is the car. Okay, got it. G'day, Dave. And Takey in the back. Part of the Valvoline Comedy stunt cars. We got one of the old ambulances, a vintage ambulance. Winton's ambulance got its first car back in 1923. The F100 ambulance in Queensland Ambulance Transport Brigade, driven by Dan Colson, the current Winton QAS paramedic. And he has lent it today by the Australian Workers Heritage Centre in Barcaldine. Thank you, guys. A 1965 International AB184 truck purchased by AE and M Nowland at Winton for their local business and do mail runs. Local Wintonite, Budu Grant's first truck, a Ford Louisville, named Old Backbone. 1985 litre, 9,000 prime mover. And that's on loan from Stephanie Grant. Thank you, Stephanie. Winton's Roy Shaw's truck, a 1978 L408 Atkinson International, the Diamantina King. The Armstrong family bought the truck and donated it back to the Winton Truck Museum, which is also a must-see area that you need to go and have a look at, the Truck Museum here in Winton. Okay, a Land Rover originally belonged to Winton Council Stock Routes, driven by Don Raymond, has been owned by Bo Dean, Mike Ross, John Woodfield and Billy Baskett, who restored it. And it now lives at the Truck Museum with a couple of the members of the Brad McCaw Band on board. Actually, it's Brad himself.
Can we get a name from someone out on... we need a name from one of the dignitaries there. We need a name. Just
What?
give us one name.
One name?
Yeah. What are their first names?
I don't know if we can do that for Her Excellency. Why not?
I love to have a beer with the dignitaries. I love to have a beer with the dig. We drink with moderation. Never ever rhyme. Dig with pig. We drink at the town and country. Where the atmosphere is great. I love to have a beer with the dignitaries because the dignitaries are legally my mates.
All right, we got the 1965 AB 184 truck, which has also passed us. Qantas has long been a proud history with the Winton region, and the Winton Club was the location of the first ever Qantas board meeting back in February of 1921. And we commemorate here in many ways, including with a plaque in the Winton Club, and absolutely stoked to have the wonderful cabin crew from Qantas here. The Winton Council has two vehicles this year in the parade, their workshop service truck and also their street sweeper. And the service truck is towing a trailer with a model of Avro. As we know, Qantas was founded in Winton in 1920, and its original fleet had two planes, one being an Arvo 504K. The model you can see was built by Winton resident Jack Fogarty. And the street sweep is a new addition to Council's fleet and has been wrapped to celebrate Council's 150 years. We have the Winton Museum float. The Winton District Historical Society and Museum has been operating since 1972 and aims to collect, conserve and display Winton's local history. The Society is run by a small dedicated group of volunteers that come from many walks of life and ages, but are all brought together by the same common interest, which is preserving Winton's history. And also to the kids, the whip crackers, and it's going to be great for the Outback Festival in September as well. The Outback Festival floats for over 50 years. This homegrown festival, coordinated by a dedicated group of hard-working Winton volunteers, have devoted so much of their time and energy to staging the Outback and the Outback Festival since 1972. I know Robin Stevens, Pete and the family and all the volunteers who work hard each and every year for the Winton Outback Festival. And again, in September of this year, please come back and join us between 23rd to the 27th of September. The Steve Elliott Working Dogs and the Age of the Dinosaurs. And of course, Winton, the birthplace of fossils and bones and footprints of dinosaurs within this region. With the Steve Elliott Working Dogs. With Buggy, Steve Elliott appeared on ABC's Mustard Dogs alongside his pup Indy many years ago. And Gillespie's Jalopy, which has been in Winton for I don't know how many years, but as long as I've been coming and way before that, has always been a fun and main feature in many of the events and festivals and other events that we've had in the region over the past 30, 40, 50 years. So as they come down the other side of Elderslie Street, everybody, please give them a big round of applause. One of our biggest parades that we've had in Winton for many, many, many years, celebrating 150 years of Winton. Also, everybody, Mayor Kathy White has asked me to make sure that you're all aware, and please give a round of applause to John and Donna Painter, who have been working tirelessly on organising this parade for over 12 months now, and they've done such a terrific job. So, to John and Donna, thank you very much, guys. Big round of applause for John and Donna Painter.
So I'll go clean some bugs off it to the collector a few bugs. So I'll just park it.
Do you know there was a guy who came around and asked for information?
I'm very careful with going.
Alright, so you're going to go move the car?
I'll just move it to.
yes. And just quickly, everybody, for those that are dressed up, celebrating the 150th celebrations of Winton, we do have some pretty good prizes for Best Male, Best Lady, and also for our kids. And this is going to be judged by Senator Susan McDonald, who will be judging the Best Male, Best Lady, and also the Best Kid. So if we can get everybody that is dressed up, or if you know of somebody, quickly race over to them and ask them to come over to the main stage. That'd be great. Appreciate it.
thoroughbred, that's what she said in the back of my truck bed as I was getting buzzed on suds out on some backcountry road. We were flying high, fine as wine, having ourselves a big and rich time, and I was going just about as far as she'd let me go. But her evaluation of my cowboy reputation had me begging for salvation all night long. So I took her out gigging from.
Now, of course, everybody, if you are dressed in the themed costumes for Winton, celebrating the decades, the 150 years, if you can make your way to the front stage, I know down towards where the parade area is, if anybody in your family or friends dressed in any of the period time gear, we would love to have them up here close to the main stage so we can do the presentations for Best Dressed Man, Best Dressed Lady, and also for the kids, the Best Dressed as well. And we'll do the presentations of our winners for those categories. There's Donna. Hey, Donna. Everyone's appreciative of you and John for all the hard work you've done, and your family too, over the past 12 months. And don't forget, all those that are in theme dress for the parade, if we can get you all to come up to close to the front of the stage. And we will announce the winners of each of the sections, so men, ladies, and kids. So if you are dressed in theme, please make your way up to the front of the stage. And family and friends, if your family or friends are dressed up, please let them know to come on up as we do the judging. Senator, I'm doing the announcement, so you can pick and then I'll blame the mayor. How's that sound? I won't do that to you, Kathy. Ladies and men, please join us. Yeah, that's great. It's going to be a hard choice here, I think. The driver of Gillespie's Jalopy might be in the running too, I think. Just in front of us here, gents. That's up to the mayor. Says you have to do a dance. Is that what I'll do? No? Okay. Hey, guys, just saying it, the mayor can't hear me behind here. Apparently she wants you all to do a little jig or a dance, okay? But just... No, I'm joking. With the judging, yeah, they're all starting to come up. There's a few more coming, isn't there? Yeah? Yeah, do you want to just stand in the shade for a little bit until we get a few of them up, rather than stand out in the hot sun? Men, ladies and children. There's still a fair bit happening throughout the day as well. At 11 o'clock we will have the Qantas flyover, and Qantas QF400 aircraft will be flying above at around about 11 o'clock this morning. And team, if you know of anybody that is in themed dress for us, for our best dress competition, if you could get them to quickly come and join us up here at the main stage or close to. We do have Senator Susan McDonald who... Oh, there's Johnny Painter. Hey, everybody, Johnny Painter, big part of organising the past parade over the last 12 months with his wife, Donna. Good on you, Johnny, and thanks for coming up, mate. Lovely bloke. You want to come up? All right. And Johnny just come up to me to mention that the stagecoach and a couple of the vintage cars down the end of the street after the Qantas flyover are happy to do some rides for anybody, and you can get some photos and go for a cruise around in the carriage or a couple of the vintage cars. So that will be straight after the Qantas flyover at 11 a.m. All the best dressed and themed dressed, if we can get you all up here as well. And Senator Susan McDonald will be doing the judging for the men, for the ladies, and also for kids under 18, all children under 18. And, of course, support the market stall holders from around the region too that have been travelling. Pop into the Royal Theatre and have a look at the museum there, and you can support by buying a chair, one of the original chairs of the Royal Theatre. You can also buy one of the bricks, and you can have your name etched on a plaque on the chairs or the bricks as well. There's also blankets and lollies and tea towels and linen. There's also over in the festival office, there's also a whole heap of knickknacks and goodies there that you can also purchase to take home with you. It's a special memento of being a part of 150 years of the celebrations of Winton. Just quickly, any other themed men, ladies, or kids? If you can make your way over to near the stage area, we're about to do the judging. Okay, everyone, for all those that are in themed dress, if you could make your way up to the front of the stage for us. Hello. You got all good? Okay, awesome. All right, do we have any other themed men, ladies, or thongs? Oh, no, hang on, sandals and shorts, and that looks great. That's True Blue bloody Aussie. Any of the children from the schools, if you just quickly want to make your way up as well. Mums and dads, grandparents, if your grandkids or children are dressed up, if you can quickly send them up here. Best dressed lady. Best dressed. Which one's that? That's the man. Yep. And the best dressed youth. Alrighty. No, we can't wait. No. Yeah. All right. All right, would you please welcome Senator Susan McDonald, everybody. It's a tough choice, Senator. Say a few words before we make the announcement, if you like.
Thank you. Are we on this one? Thank you. Good morning. Well, it is absolutely terrific to see Winton shining, and despite having the floods recently, I don't think I've seen the country look as good as it does. It's so green, and what a great season that's going to be ahead. The Grand Parade, what a terrific reflection of all of the families and the businesses and the great community you have here in Winton. And Mayor Cathy, you must be so proud to see everybody out. It is wonderful to be here with Her Excellency, with the Governor of Queensland and Professor Nimmo. Lovely to be here with you. So it is a very difficult task to judge these wonderful costumes today. I want to make special mention of the ushers, who I think have done a terrific job. So well done. Special commendation. If I could start with this lady in the black long skirt and bonnet. You have definitely represented the period costume so well, and I think you are the winner of your category. So thank you for all the effort that you've gone to. All right, the difficult decisions keep going, and gentlemen, for the effort that you've made, great job. But I think that any man who matches his braces, his belt and his hat definitely needs a special call out. So the driver, now I'm sorry, I've forgotten your name. Do you remember his name? Max, I think you're the winner of the male category. Well done.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We've driven our couple of old cars all the way from Bundaberg at Jono's request. So thank you, Jono, for inviting us up to Winton, and it's been a wonderful trip. So it's fantastic, and thank you very much.
Terrific. Yes, congratulations to all those people who... Max, did you drive in your older car? Max is not... in the car? Very impressive. Well done. And all the support crew that you would have had, mechanics. Yes, well done. Well done. Now, girls, you've both made a terrific job getting ready for today. And but particularly, I think... this young lady in the lovely brown dress with the embroidered collar, I think you've done a great job. So, well done. What's your name? Grace, darling. You look fabulous. Well done. Now I've got a prize. What a wonderful day. Thank you to everybody who made such an effort. So that for all of the visitors, thank you for coming to Winton today, for this week, for the great celebrations. And this is a reminder for everybody about the incredible community spirit, why Winton is a great place to live in or to come and visit. So thank you so much, Winton, for turning on such a wonderful celebration for your 150 years.
Thank you, Senator, very much. Okay, we're getting very close to the flyover from Qantas, and that'll be at 11 o'clock. And we do have the Qantas team who are here as well over near the monument. And we would also like to call up Rachel Yangalian. I think that's, sorry, Rachel. Am I right there? Oh, that's good. That's pretty good. Who is the Qantas Link CEO. Okay, as we get ready for the flyover. So around about 5 minutes away, everybody. So get ready for the flyover of the QF 400 aircraft. And, of course, Winton, the birthplace of Qantas. We'll also have more live entertainment on stage. Support the market stalls that are around as well. Head on over to the glow sticks over there. The kids will love that. Some people are like glow sticks. You just want to grab them, break them in two and wait for the light to come on. So head on over, and they're actually homemade. They're homemade glow sticks as well, handcraft. There is handcrafts also up just past the North Gregory Hotel with China tea sets. That's in front of Caulfield's. You can find out more too in at the festival office. There is tea towels and there is grooming sets, all celebrating 150 years. And you can also purchase one of these shirts that I'm wearing. We've got another one over there in green, 150 years celebration. They're only $49.99, I think, these shirts. They're a run-out sale, and they're in all different colours. There's light colours, there's dark colours, black, there's purple, there's the red, and also the green. So if you head on over to the office just beside the North Gregory Hotel, you'll be able to have a look at some of the celebration shirts of 150 years. Limited stock. All right, we're only a couple of minutes away from the Qantas flyover. Here it is, everybody, the QF 400 flying over Winton, celebrating 150 years. And, of course, Winton being the birthplace of Qantas at the Winton Club at the first ever board meeting held in the township. Another big round of applause, everybody. And let's thank the team from Qantas joining us too. Thank you very much. Thanks for being a part of it, Rachel and the team. Oh, it's coming back around. It's going to do a U-E. All right. Left or right turn? All right. It's a left turn. Okay. So hang around. They're doing a U-turn and they're coming back again. So get your cameras ready once again. Actually, we will get the CEO of Qantas Link just to say a few words.
Thank you, and it's wonderful to be here with the Winton community today. Winton has a very special place for the Qantas Group. We have a very long and proud history with our first ever board meeting that took place here back in February 1921. And we are so proud to have our Q400 named Winton to celebrate with the community for your 150-year anniversary. This is the third time we've had an aircraft in our fleet that was named Winton. We had a 707 back in the 70s, and we had a 747 that we had from 1991 to 2011. So it's been a bit of a while since we've had one back in the fleet, but we're really pleased to have been able to do that for this really important celebration. Enjoy the rest of the celebrations today and this evening, and congratulations.
All right, cameras at the ready, everybody. The QF 400 about to fly over again. And Jeanette, you said the third. The third, Rachel, the third. Yeah, the third Winton. And this is the third one. Okay. In the know. All right, everybody, here he comes again. QF 400 Winton about to make another flyover. So get your cameras ready, your video cameras ready, as it flies over one more time over Winton, the QF 400. It's a female aircraft? Okay, it is a female aircraft. Here she comes. Take your videos, take your photos. And I know they can't hear you up there, but give them a big wave and a big round of applause. They'll be able to see you waving for sure, the pilot. So give them a big wave, everybody. As she flies over Winton, the QF 400 Winton. Another big wave as she goes over.